This is Weston Schrank with the Buck Advisors, and today we'll be giving you a tip on how to successfully grow a small soybean plot. Now, as you know, soybeans can be a deer manager's and land manager's best friend. They can be not only early summer nutrition, but they can be an early season bow attractant or a late season food source. The one thing that limits soybeans, however, is the size of the food plot. As a general rule of thumb, without knowing deer densities, 3 to 5 acres is the bare minimum of what you need to have. Anything less than that, you'll just have stubble growing in the field. So how do we combat this? And really, there's either two options that you have. You either plant something else like clover that can resist browse pressure, or you do a food plot fence. If you're like me and you just want soybeans, or you think it's vital to your success this season, then you need to figure out a way to protect it. And by far the easiest and cheapest way to do that is a dual perimeter electric fence. Now, these can be costly on your wallet. Usually there's some kits available for $450, $500, or even $1,000 online, like Gallagher or a non-typical fence. But you can also just get the materials at your local hardware store and build one yourself. The fence you see behind me is exactly that. Just some materials gathered from local hardware stores or tractor supply stores, and we put this fence up. Now here's a table of all the materials and what they priced out to be, and a ballpark estimate of what you'll be spending. You might be able to get a little bit cheaper depending on what products you use or what your preferences might be, but this is general ballpark estimate. This type of fence does exactly what it's supposed to do. It protects the young soybeans, keeps them from getting overbrowsed, but it also gives me, a hunter, a wide variety of control over this plot. I can wait till late summer and scout, or I can wait till bow season, and I can also wait till late season. This type of control that this small soybean food plot that's fenced in gives me is extremely effective as far as kill plots go. And if you're wanting small soybean plot, or if you just have a small plot that you're thinking about, what to plant, this should definitely be a consideration for you this fall. For more information, visit thebuckadvisors.com. Hey folks, I'm Weston Schrank with the Buck Advisors, and today we're revisiting a project that you've already seen. This dual perimeter electric fence system has kept this small soybean plot protected during much of the summer, but it has recently ran into some problems. Over this weekend, I think a doe or buck actually got tangled up in the fence and dropped a section of it between the posts. And once this happens, the fence is down, the electricity is gone, basically the gig is up. You can't really run this fence, they figured it out, they'll just keep jumping over it time and time again. And the way I figure it, I only have about 3 options. Option 1 is I just give up. I take the fence down, it's done its job. The beans are about knee high now, so they can take a little bit of browsing pressure, not too much. This way the deer gets some access to protein for the rest of the summer, and it also gives me a chance to film some velvet bucks, maybe even pattern a mature buck. I'll actually come back through and broadcast brassicas and oats over the soybeans to give me something to hunt over during the deer season. Option 2 is I'll leave the fence up, I'll go ahead and fix it, actually raise the fence up a notch because these wires can get stretched out over a period of time, and just see what happens. Hopefully just doing that will actually be effective in keeping the deer out. I'll also broadcast my fall mix into this plot during August. Option 3 is a combination. I'll leave the fence up but expect the worst. So my plan is to come in here, broadcast another 30 to 40 pounds of beans per acre, and give those new beans, the underlayer, a chance to grow up in the incident that the top layer gets destroyed. That way I have more beans, I extend the life of this food plot, maybe even to bow season, if not, maybe a month or 2. I'll again come in here in August and plant my fall food plot mix, so I do have something to hunt over during the deer season. So that's probably one of my best options. In any case, I'm going to put a trail camera up to watch this plot and see if the deer jump in it or actually what's going on. This continuous rain is wiping away a lot of tracks, but the browse is evident, so I want to see where they're actually coming in at. For now, as you probably could have guessed while watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and go with option 3. I will keep you updated on this project as well as other projects. For more information on this or anything else white-tailed deer, find the Buck Advisors online at buckadvisors.com. Well, today is the day. It's September 27th, a couple days before our archery opener here in Indiana on October the 1st. And we're on my 70-acre property that we have the bean field you see here behind me that we've been talking about all summer long. Back in May when we planted these beans, we fenced these in with a dual perimeter electric fence that I set up myself. And it's done a terrific job of keeping the deer out so far. I mean, some of these beans are well over my head and they're just absolutely loaded with beans. So I can't wait to get this fence down. The deer are just absolutely going to tear them up. Now there's a couple reasons we're actually going to take this fence down today. One is what I've already said, that it's a couple days out from archery season, so this is going to be a great early season attractant. Two is one of the more recent videos that we just posted. The corn was combined directly across from this property, and all the commercial beans are yellow. So bucks are picking up their summer home ranges and moving it over to our fall home ranges, which has given rise to our third reason that we're taking it down. Oscar, a 3-year-old, returned back on the property. A couple days ago we got some trail camera video of him passing through the property. So we want to try to entice him to select this as his core area for his fall home range this year, as well as any other bucks like Dallas and Jacks that might also return. So taking this fence down will give us an early season attractant, and also maybe entice some of those bucks to stick around, as well as some does that we can harvest, fill up our freezers early in the year. Now we're not just taking the fence down. There's actually a lot more strategy that's involved to really use this bean field as much as we can and give us hunting opportunities throughout the entire year. To the north of this bean field, there's a sanctuary that I did some hinge cutting in earlier in the year, and we haven't touched at all. And in between this sanctuary and the bean field is a lot of early successional type staging area type habitat that's really going to draw the deer out of that bedding area to the north, down south into this bean field. And the way the stand's set up on the southern end of this bean field, any northern wind, northwest, northeast, or just plain north, we'll be able to hunt. Now, there's a run that runs between this sanctuary and this bean field, and that's where we put 2 trail cameras up, and that's actually where we caught Oscar this year. So the plan is, on any northern wind, we're going to hunt this plot and draw the deer out from the bedding area so they're not coming in behind us and you know, catching our wind and busting us. So in order to do that, we're taking the north side of the fence down. Now the deer are going to absolutely tear up that side of the plot during the early season. It's only an acre, so once November gets here, the rut starts ramping up, the colder temperatures start hitting, we're actually going to seal off that part of the fence and open up the southwest part. What that's going to allow us to do is switch up our hunting strategy, switch up our stands, and hunt the timber south of this plot, as well as more beans. Well, like I said, once we start getting those colder temperatures and the rut starts ramping up, we're going to have a lot of deer start piling in here. We're going to have bucks checking that timber on the downwind side of this plot, checking for hot does. So that's just using this bean field as much as we can to our advantage, and we couldn't do it without this fence. So it's time and money well spent, and I think it's going to be a big part of our success this year. But we're going to go ahead and finish this up. We're going to put some trail cameras out, see if we can't develop a pattern on a big buck, and we're definitely going to start slamming some does here during early October. So make sure you keep checking back with us every week and check the progress of this bean field as well as any of our hunts. Well, it's October 1st here in Indiana, first day of archery season. We took the bean fence down about 3 days ago. Jess is on camera and we're hoping for a doe, and maybe we'll see Oscar tonight. just got the camera gear set up, just got done with our opening interview, and I turned around, there was a deer like right underneath of us. Definitely a young doe, but she came in from the west, which we didn't expect because we opened up the northeast side of this plot. But she came in, she was right underneath of us. I waited a little bit, see what she wanted to do, but it looks like she was just gonna hold up in the cover until it got a little bit darker and then go out in the bean field on the north side. So just decided to take her. She was getting a little squirrely. The wind is really good for tonight, but she was so close that it was kind of swirling, and she started to get a little bit of a hint. So we went ahead and shot her. She ran off. I think she went down. But we're gonna sit the rest of the night, see if we see any bugs, see if Oscar comes out. Wind's good, so we're just gonna keep on hunting. Well, we just got down to the stand. We got about an hour till dark. The does moved on through and the fawns moved out of the bean field, so it's starting to drizzle a little bit. We're gonna try to get this doe before that happens. Well, that arrow is absolutely covered. Like I said, she's probably just right up here. There she is. Well, definitely a young doe, like I said, but a doe nonetheless. We had a doe and two fawns work through the north side of the plot like I anticipated, and this one obviously snuck up on us like you guys saw, but really good hunt, really fun. We'll definitely keep hunting the bean field, keep an eye on our trail camera, see if we have any bucks moving through, and hopefully we see Oscar again. Hopefully he starts working this bean field so we can get a shot at him.